What's going on, everybody? Joshua Cook, VYPE Media, back for another week. Got the whole crew back this week. Dennis Silva II has returned, rocking his Rockets t-shirt as they are on a winning streak. Coach James Williams of those Fort Marshall Buffs and Coach McDowell of those Foster Falcons. Guys, we're back for another week of the Coaches Show. We are starting to wind this down. It's into December now. A couple weeks left, literally this week. And then next week we are at AT&T Stadium in Arlington for the state championships. It's coming down to it. The last few teams are in it. But we'll get to football in a little bit. I think the pressing question right now is it is December. There are a lot of Christmas holiday movies on TV. What is your go-to Christmas holiday movie? Is it, we got Home Alone going on. Some people consider Die Hard potentially a Christmas movie. What are the thoughts of the crew? What's your go-to Christmas movie?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Come on, man. That one, Elf.
Okay.
All right. You got to go with Elf. Right. And then, honestly, one of my favorite Christmas movies that my family considers a Christmas movies, Goodfellas.
Ooh.
Goodfellas.
Ooh.
Yes. Because the heist is during Christmas and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's sort of like, it's not really a Christmas movie, but we always watch it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So.
Do y'all watch those like every year, Coach?
Oh, we watch it all year round. But yeah, I mean, it's going to happen during the Christmas holidays that those movies are going to get watched, So it's pretty awesome. I love them,
Well, I have two favorites. I'm always with the Christmas Story. The Red Ryder BB gun is always a classic. So
you're going to shoot your eye out.
That's right. That's right. Got to watch that once a year. And also, I'm actually really big into Santa Claus the movie. Since I was a kid, I've always liked that. Always liked that movie. So those are my two classics, my two favorites.
You're talking about the Tim Allen one?
No. Is it Tim Allen? I think it might be. I have to look it up. But
where like he becomes a Santa Claus for his kid or something, or
no, not that one. No,
okay,
not that one. Not that one. I have to look it up. I'll show you guys a picture of it. It's one of my favorites. It's definitely a good one.
Okay. I guess for me, my favorite is Home Alone. 1, 2 is okay, but the 1's just a classic. I'll watch that anytime it's on, pretty much. I can't believe they're coming out with some mockery of a remake with the Home Alone 3 on one of these streaming apps is doing like a Home Alone remake. It's stupid. It is dumb. But yeah, Home Alone, my favorite for sure. I want to ask you all, do y'all consider Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I do consider it a Christmas movie, yes.
Okay.
It happens during a Christmas party.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like a Christmas Eve party. I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Coach Williams?
I'm actually not big on that. So everybody keeps talking about it. So I got to watch that. That's going to be on my movie list because I remember the last time I've seen a Die Hard movie.
Okay.
So I got to check that. It's the original one, Die Hard #1?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen them either, so I don't know.
What?
I just know what the big topic of conversation is. Like, is this a Christmas movie? So I was interested to get y'all's input.
It's been a long time.
We've done watch-alongs with the coaches for games. Maybe the next thing is watch-along for Die Hard. Our reaction
Good
to
Lord.
watching Die Hard.
Die Hard and Goodfellas. We're going to have to watch those as our
Yeah, there you go.
To your point, Dennis, the kind of the spin-off Disney made was like Home Sweet Alone. Was that
what it is?
It's something like that.
Okay.
Watched it? No, it's just. I mean, it's. They try to tie it too much to the original. It's just.
They did?
Yeah, it's no. I don't know.
What is it on though? What's the streaming?
I don't even know. There's like 18 different streaming services now. It's ridiculous. The biggest argument my wife and I get into every year is she says that Home Alone 2 is as good as Home Alone 1, and I'm like, no, not happening. I mean, the fact that they keep getting up. I mean, here's the thing, guys. You all would recruit these guys for your football team because they keep getting up. They keep taking the hits. Like, once they got hit by the paint cans, I'm done. Like, you're in concussion protocol for a week. They kept going.
They're tough, man. They're tough. They're relentless. That's what you want, relentless effort.
There you go.
You're going to show your football team just that clip. Be like, look at this. Yeah. He took a nail to the foot and kept going. and then got hit in the head by a iron. And kept going.
That's right.
Then the guy got lit on fire, and he kept going.
Yeah.
Resilience.
Relentless effort.
Yes.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Y'all are both showing that clip from Home Alone this week. I guarantee it's happening. It's going to happen. Okay, so enough of the Christmas movies. We do love Christmas movies and the holiday times and all that stuff. But football is here, and I know you get this close. And I know, Coach Williams, you've been here before on the cusp of getting to state. You've been there twice. Just talk about this part, like trying not to have the guys, because I know media shows up and we all start talking about, well, you're 1 win away, you're 1 win away. And that's the truth. You are 1 win away. But how do you keep these guys so focused on just focusing on this game and not focusing on the fact that they are 1 win away from AT&T Stadium?
Yeah, that's a constant conversation. That's a constant reminder. No matter what happens this upcoming week, if you don't take care of business right now, you're not going to get to experience that. You got to get to go on and play for that state championship. So, I mean, it's literally a constant deal. It's, hey, tell the guys, I remember telling them, hey, I promise you, we'll have a great celebration. We'll enjoy the heck out of this game after it's over. But even at halftime, I think the second time we went to state, we were up, I want to say maybe 42-7 at halftime. We got on them really good our second time around. And, you're so timid because you want to celebrate. You're feeling great. It's going in. We're going to win this game. But we need 24 more minutes of focus, and then we'll have a great celebration on the ride home, and we'll enjoy it. And it's a chance of a lifetime. And, but nothing matters more than what we're doing right now in the moment, this practice, this lifting session, this meeting to prepare to win this game this week. Don't talk about state. They're not going to talk about travel arrangements, and not going to talk about what we're going to do, how we're going to practice the following week with finals, because that's a great thing to practice while you're having finals. It really is. But it doesn't matter if we don't take care of business now. So that's a constant reminder.
Yeah, and I actually remember that game you're talking about. It was at, I think, Kyle Field and Texas A&M. Y'all got up on them like 42-7. And I'm sitting there, hey, you know what? From a media side, I appreciate it because I sat in the press box for the second half, didn't need any more highlights. I was like, I got enough of Devon Chain running down the field at A&M scoring touchdowns. So I appreciate it, Coach. I appreciate when you take care of business like that in the first half.
Yes. And that was the first time now was a lot different. We played Cal Allen, and I think we went into halftime trailing that game against Cal Allen. That was a tough. We had to pull that one out in the third quarter and held on in the fourth quarter to win it. So, both, two different perspectives, but, I'll definitely take that second one. That was one of my biggest memories coaching was that semifinal game, getting up like that in Kyle Field. It's such an amazing place to play a football game in Kyle Field, and especially a game going to the state championship. That was a great afternoon. It was a beautiful afternoon. I think it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It was great. So, I just wish I could feel that again. I gotta wait.
Let me
figure this thing out.
Yeah.
Before I give Dennis the floor, he'll have the question after this. Just both of you, we talk about Kyle Field and AT&T Stadium and things like this. And just for you, do you take a moment when y'all get to stadiums like that? I know, Coach McDowell, you've been to the Alamo Dome and different things like that, just these big stadiums. Do you take a moment when you walk in to kind of take it in that you're getting to play in such an amazing facility and just how much Texas embraces high school football in the playoffs to give you all those kinds of facilities to play in?
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those bucket list things, like to play at McLean Stadium, to play in AT&T Stadium, to play at Alamo Stadium, and U of H is a beautiful stadium. NRG. I mean, you want to check off bucket list, and I think it's a real thing. Like the Hoosiers movie, they go in there and then they look in and they do measurements, and it's the same basketball court that they practice on. It just looks a lot different around them. I know this. I think Coach Williams, James can say the same thing. Like when we played at U of H for the first time, we play at Rice. We go during the week to practice there, so the the wow factor is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still, 120 by 51 and a third or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, it's pretty awesome to go to great stadiums, and the only way you can do that is to win a lot of ball games and play long in the playoffs. So it is a really cool experience.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If you get the opportunity to go there the week of and get the practice in, to play there. You get the awe and the wow factor in early before you play, because it's not a good idea to show up for the first time and try to get that wow feeling out of your system 2 hours before the kickoff. You don't want to get in that situation. But I mean, sometimes it works out that way, and you just make the best of it. But I literally had this conversation a couple of days ago with the coach about Texas high school football and the stadiums and the focus and the effort and energy put into this is just second to none. It really is. And, it's truly an honor to play in these stadiums. It's truly an honor to say, yes, I was able to play a game in Kyle Field, NRG, and all these great places. It's definitely memorable. And, hopefully you come up on a positive side so you can, remember it even more and enjoy it even more when you play well and win there. But it's a beautiful thing about Texas high school football, especially right now. And I'm telling you, I'm really this year really missing it. It's first time since 2015 we didn't go for at least 4 rounds deep. So I'm really, really missing the environment, the games. When you get deeper in the playoffs, those crowds get bigger and bigger. The energy gets more exciting. There's less teams playing in the state. You're practicing later on in the season, and like I said, especially you're blessed to play and practice that week of finals, and get to the state championship game. It's just truly nothing like it. I mean, that's just that whole last month of the season. It's that environment is just amazing. The whole school and environment, Sean can attest to this as well, is on cloud nine. It's very, very exciting time, and it's something that I'm missing like crazy right now. It makes you want to work hard. I mean, we're full go off season right now. We're not playing. We gotta get better in a hurry. We got to get better, and hopefully be able to have opportunity next year to get back and get in these games again.
Yeah, ain't nothing like practicing with sweats and shoulder pads, right? Because it's cold outside,
That's it.
You start the season in shorts and everybody's sweating, and then you end the season, it's so cold outside, everybody's got sweats on and jackets over their shoulder pads because it's cold. You just want to be out there and practice. It's awesome, man.
Yep, that's right.
You guys talked a lot about like what you envy about this time of year. Is there anything that you don't envy? Like, was there anything that becomes a hassle around this time of year because stakes get higher?
The funny thing is, I don't want to speak for James, but nothing bothers you at this time. You're so excited. I mean, it's like you start to worry a little bit about little things, maybe like, man, if we could do this, I mean, we're so close. But really the process and how you attack things doesn't change from that time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what we do Monday is what we did Monday. What we do Tuesday is Tuesday. And it might change per opponent, but the process doesn't change. This time of year, what I found to be a good problem, but a bad problem, was college recruiters coming and then taking your time out of the day. I know James could attest to that too. Is like, we've got some really good players, and everybody wants to come see and come to practice and come bite my ear off. And 30 minutes here, hour here, and I can't have the prep time.
Right.
It's kind of, so it's like, man, but it's still fun nonetheless. And by God, I wish I was there right now. I wish I had all those. I wish I had all those problems. I wish I was cold. I wish we had recruiters everywhere. I wish we were still practicing. So,
yeah. At this time of year, all problems are good problems. We'll take it all. I mean, selling tickets, selling playoff shirts, all that stuff. Hey, we welcome it all. It's nothing like it. It really is. It's just nothing like playoffs in Texas and these opportunities to play against these great teams. Again, you're playing against not just regular football games, but the best. You're going against the best. And so the opportunity to do this and to enjoy it, I tell my kids all the time, these are lifetime memories we're creating right now. So at the end of the day, we want to write our own chapter. We want to make it a happy ending, a positive ending. So, we got to work our tails off and don't let up. Because I found this. A lot of teams, or in my opinion, a good number of teams and get to the playoffs and they get tired of playing. Whether you're not used to playing this long, whether you get mentally exhausted or physically exhausted, and you're not preparing like you used to prepare. You're not as excited about playing. You're not lifting weights, and the focus is not what it used to be. Some teams, end up losing because they're kind of mentally tired of playing and okay with or satisfied with how far they've come. Whereas those who make it and go all the way, it's got to be the same focus you have in August, the same focus you have in October, November, you got to have in December and more. because you're playing these better teams. You got to have great practices in December and take all the details you would take early in the year and even more laser focused to get the job done there. So it's definitely a different atmosphere. You got to want it. It's truly, you got to want it. The teams that make it far, you have to want it, and you have to want it enough to prepare for it and practice for it like you have in the past. And then, the ride is so much fun and to get along and do it. And especially it's nothing like after that game and you walking across shaking hands and you won that game. There's nothing like it. It's beautiful.
My last question is, you guys are in situations you're not used to as far as having this amount of time off. What have you learned about your kids and the program through having that year that y'all didn't want or didn't expect and didn't play for? Is there anything you've learned about your kids just in this time that's been rare for you guys from a program perspective?
Yeah, I could say this since we've been in a little bit longer than James. We beat them by a week. Our kids, their resolve is not changed. I think it's like they still want to be good now. Now finishing 5-5. We didn't win, we didn't lose. So it's like one of those deals. Like we're 8 points away from being 7-3. 8 points. So we got to find a way to get that 8 points back. But we have a majority of the team, so. The seniors are kind of gone. They're playing PlayStation in the meeting room and stuff now. And so it's like their team. So they're starting to realize, like, man, here, everything I've wanted is sitting right here in my face, And so this is where we started reinstalling discipline. We haven't had a really good offseason in 2 years.
Right.
So, in 2020, and, we got cut short. And then all last year was a wash. So really just reestablishing. But our hard work and our effort and our resolve is unchanged. I feel like our guys have come into work, and it's been great effort and energy every day. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I can kind of second that. You have to be 100% transparent and honest with yourself. You got to look at, I've told my team, I'm the first one to do it. I'm going to lead the way. You got to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, how can we improve? Okay, what went wrong? Why did this happen? Or why did we lose? Or why did we have the issues we had? And then now how we address and how we fix it. We go through evaluations, whether coaches evaluations, player evaluations, and we really restart this whole thing. We go back to square one. We got to start over. And again, whatever our problems are, we have to be mature enough and confident enough to say, hey, this is a problem. I got to look myself in the mirror and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do different. This is how I'm going to address it. This is how we're going to get better from it. I got, my juniors, which will be seniors next year. Hey, you're now seniors. You're stepping up now, and you're going to lead this way. We got to find our new leaders now. We got to recognize the situation we had last year, and let's fix that and address that right now, starting with our coaching staff and you seniors to lead this thing and get it done. Like Sean said, our seniors are around, yes. And I always tell the guys, it's not a knock on the seniors or anybody before you, but we have to address it. And we have to make sure we fix the problem, address it, look it right in the eye and fix it. I said the other day, we're not going to play again for another 8 months or so. That's such a long way away, but it is what it is. We have to get a lot of work done in those 8 months. We got to get a lot better, a lot stronger, a lot faster, a lot more disciplined, and get better as a football program, football culture, to make sure when we start playing again next August, we're doing what we want to do. We're playing the way we want to play, and so we can get better throughout the season and make sure we don't go out again like we did this year.
All right, well, busy offseason for these two programs as they try to get back into it next year. And I'm sure those guys are working hard right now, motivated more than ever to be trying to be playing this time next year. All right, well, to America's favorite part of the show, of course, Coach Sean McDowell is the reigning regular season champ of the Pick'em. And the playoff Pick'em has been coming together pretty well. Coach Williams had a good lead last week. He goes 3-2 in his picks last week. Falls to 15-5 on the year. Coach McDowell goes a perfect 5-0 to catch up and tie him atop the rankings at 15-5. So the two coaches are once again tied going into the final 2 weeks of the season. Dennis Silva II goes 5-0. He's at 14-6, only a game back. I actually went 5-0. and I'm now just 2 games back. So now I'm at 13-7. So all hope is not lost for me yet until this week's picks when I'm going to screw it up. So
I took some risks last week, so I gotta make up for those games last week. And
yes, you
I did not know that Connor was not going to play against for Bridgeland last week. That was a big one right there. When I found out, I think it was the same day that he was not going to play. Like, wow, that was the key. I should have had my pick on a contingency. If he's playing, we're gonna go on Bridgeland. If he's not playing, that should have been the case.
It was your Hightower pick too. Don't forget.
Oh yeah.
Hightower pick.
Hey, I gotta stick with it. It was a different game. It was not the same as the first game around. So it was
Jake. That's because Jacob Brown had like 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. Yeah, because he didn't play the last time he played.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't play the last time.
That dude's a player, man. That dude's a player.
Yeah, he's strong.
All right. So speaking of Jacob Brown, we'll start with those Peyto Panthers. They go on the road to San Antonio. Dennis Silva II will be there for that game. They take on, I believe, Dennis, they take on Corpus Christi Flower Bluff. Is that the game this week? All right, so that's the first game. Up for picks, Peyto versus Corpus Christi Flower Bluff. Do the Peyto Panthers punch their ticket to AT&T Stadium?
I'll go first with that if it's okay. And yes, the answer is definitely yes. We should go with a line with this because I don't think this game's going to be close. I think they're going to be dancing and running and having a great time and on their way to Dallas, to Fort Worth next week. So I definitely think this will be a victory for Peyto, and they'll get their first opportunity to play for a state championship next week.
100% agree with that pick. I mean, Peyto is one of the better schools in the area right now on any level. They're playing really good ball. Coach Guy got them guys firing. I'm super excited. I can't wait to watch it. I'm going with the Peyto Panthers the whole way.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be close. I know I was at Peyto practice stand. He said the Flower Bluffs O-line has some size, but Peyto's more athletic. They're more skilled. They're physical. I mean, it's probably going to be what? It's going to be a blowout. But so I think Peyto's going to punch our ticket to next week and then get either Ryan or College Station, right? That will be a great
That's
going to be something.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah.
I think we'd have to go back. I'd have to go back into the hours and hours of recordings we've done this season. But I think at some point I potentially said College Station and Peyto were on a collision course.
I think I remember
for a state championship. And that's what's going to happen. It will be College Station. It will be Katy Peyto next Friday night for the state championship. Peyto Panthers, they remind me a lot of Shadow Creek in that final year that they were in 5A before they made the jump up to 6A. This team is built for this. I think if Peyto wouldn't have caught that COVID problem last year in the second round that eliminated them, I think they would have been a 4 or 5 round deep team last year too. I think we just didn't know about them because of that whole COVID issue and not being able to play. So I'm going Peyto Panthers. They go to AT&T Stadium next week. The next one is a rematch of last year's state semifinals. It finished 62-61. A fumbled 2-point conversion made the difference. Crosby takes on Liberty Hill this week at Brian Merrill Green Stadium. Do the Crosby Cougars return to AT&T Stadium for a second straight year, or is this Liberty Hill's redemption season?
I'll go with Crosby with this one. The way they're playing, I mean, hey, they've been scoring a lot of points this year. And then last year they got into a tough one. Last week they got into a tough one versus Texas High and won 14-7. I mean, so their defense showed they can step up and play. I think Liberty Hill is scoring points. Their offense is pretty good as well, but I definitely think they have the defense that Crosby is going to have. So last year it was a shootout. I don't know if it's going to get to that point or not. I doubt it because again, Crosby defense is showing much better. So I'll go with Crosby to get back to the state championship.
I'm going to go with Crosby as well. I think that they're playing well, battle-tested, and they're Houston area. So we got to do that. I'm going to go with Houston area team. So I'm taking the Crosby Cougars.
As much as I want to go with the Houston area team, I'm going to go with Liberty Hill. I think the redemption, revenge, the bitterness of just how you lost that game, that had to eaten at them for, I can't even imagine, to fumble the ball like that on the goal line with a 2-point conversion and a chance to win and go to state. That's something. And I think that's playing with that, living with that the last, what would we say, 8 months. I think that kind of pays off for them. I think it's going to be close, probably like 42-35 or something, but I think Liberty Hill gets it.
Wow, okay.
So he's going Liberty Hill. Now, hey, here's the thing. We know exactly what Liberty Hill is going to do. They're going to run the football. That's what they do. They run triple option. Here's the thing. Crosby has a full game of film from last year of how to stop or try to slow down that triple option. Now, granted, the two running backs this year are both sophomores, like 3,000 yards between the two of them. Crosby's defense, I think, is a little better than Liberty Hill. I think those two defensive ends, McCoy and Cooper, I think that's going to be the difference. I'm going to go Crosby Cougars. I think because they're not going to be stunned by the triple option, right? This can throw some teams off. They've seen it before. They've been in a game with it before. McCoy Casey is a senior. He's a 3-year starter for them. He knows exactly what's coming. So I'm going to go Crosby Cougars. I don't think it's going to be as much of a shootout as last year. I can see a high-scoring game, though, like Dennis says, like 42-35. But I'm going to go with Crosby. I think Kyron Miles is ready to show what he can do at quarterback. Next game is North Shore takes on Lake Travis for a spot in the state championship game. North Shore, of course, I think is 4th straight state semifinal for them. So do the North Shore Mustangs get it done, or does Hank Carter's Lake Travis team push on through to AT&T Stadium?
I'm going to go North Shore.
Go ahead. Yes,
Go ahead.
sir.
Right. I'm taking North Shore, man. I know Lake Travis does a great job and stuff. They got shellacked by Westlake, and I don't think they play enough tough opponents throughout the year, So I'm gonna go with the Mustangs and North Shore. I went and watched them practice. They're impressive. I think they're gonna have a plan. They ran the gamut all season long with the Houston area schools. I'm not picking anything other than the North Shore Mustangs on this one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel they'll get this one done. Their offense is getting a little bit better and better every week. We talked before about the freshman quarterback, and he's getting big time experience right now in the playoffs. Playing against some good teams, and they beat a very good Atascocita team last week. I think obviously we all know Lake Travis is a formidable opponent, but I'm definitely going to go with the physicality and the defense of North Shore to lead them to get back to the state championship game.
Okay, so I'm going the other way again. I'm going Lake Travis. I think North Shore's offense, I don't think they have enough on offense just yet to put up points with Lake Travis. And if Lake Travis gets out to a 14-0, 21-7 type lead, I'm not sure North Shore can overcome something like that. I think this reminds me a lot when Demetrius Davis was a freshman and they ran into Katie, and Davis kind of had to take his lumps in that game. And kind of similar where you have a power program like Lake Travis against another freshman quarterback. And then Davis kind of started rolling and started learning from that game. I think there's a lot of similarities there, but I'm going to take Lake Travis in a close one. I think it's probably like, 35-30 or 35-32 or something, but I think Lake Travis, I just don't think North Shore has enough offense.
And it comes down to me now, huh? It comes down to me. The only loss North Shore has had all season was to Westfield early in the year. It was a 27-21 loss. This is hard. North Shore hasn't faced a quarterback like this all year. Bryce Edmondson for Lake Travis is legit. That offense is legit. But you got to remember, this is also a North Shore team. You remember a few years ago when Lake Travis had Hudson Card and they rolled in NRG Stadium and everyone thought North Shore was going to get spanked by Lake Travis and Hudson Card, and they came out and handed it to them for 4 quarters. Oh, gosh, this is hard. I mean, I'm a few games back, but you know what? And this goes against what I told Dennis earlier today on the phone, which is fine. I'm gonna go North Shore. I can't bet against the Mustangs. I think that defense is too good. I think they're gonna be able to slow them down. I think the offense is coming along, but I'm gonna go North Shore. I think they win. I think they get back to AT&T Stadium. They're gonna tune something up and figure something out to slow down Lake Travis. So, go North Shore Mustangs. Dennis Silva's like, you coward. How dare you? So that's 3 of the games. Who else we got left? Oh, Katy takes on Austin Westlake this week. A rematch or a matchup of 2 defending state champions, 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon at McLean Stadium. That is the game to be at in the state of Texas between those 2 programs. Todd Dodge on one side, Gary Joseph on the other side. A lot of state bling between those two coaches. This is the decider.
I'll tell you, I think I'm gonna go with Austin Westlake. I hate going against Katy Tigers. You know, they've had a tough couple of weeks. Summer Creek brought it against them. You know, C. King, if they don't lose that running back, I think they have a little better shot at them. But Summer Creek was bringing it, you know, and they played well. And it gave them fits. What typically gives the KD defense, the 3-4, some fits is a team that can spread you out and throw the rock on you, throw it around.
True.
And that's what Westlake does. They've been rolling. That quarterback might be the best in the state, top 5 for sure, top 3 over there at Westlake. So, you know, I'm gonna go with Austin Westlake. I hate doing that to Coach Joseph and Katy Tigers, man. I love you guys, you know, but man, I'm going with the Chaparrals of Westlake, I guess, on this one.
Unbelievable game. I wish I could be there. This honestly takes me back and reminds me of way back in the, I'm gonna take you back a little bit now, when Katy won a state championship versus South Lake Carroll. And that great offense of South Lake Carroll, spreading you out, throwing the ball everywhere.
Chase
but
Daniels,
that day, I'm sorry?
Was that Daniels?
I think it was Riley the quarterback?
I thought it was Chase, no? I can't remember.
Oh, you mean the quarterback?
Yeah, quarterback.
I'm not sure. Exactly. I mean, this was probably in 2010, maybe.
Yeah.
Around that time.
Okay.
But that offense was, I mean, it was, you know, winning championships. That offense was scoring a ton of points. I think it might have been a year Newton was the running back of South Lake Carroll. But I mean, Garrett Joseph found a way, and they shut that offense down. They won a state championship versus the number 1 team in the state and number 1. I mean, the offense, and it just really reminds me of that a lot. And Sean was right on point. You know, Katy sometimes, you know, last year against Katy Tompkins, they threw the ball on, spread the ball out, threw the ball on him, and had a lot of success. And last week's game, wow, Summer Creek was so close. Summer Creek played a great game and almost pulled it out in the end. But to say all of that, I've been saying for weeks, you don't bet against Katy. You don't go against Katy. You don't pick against Katy. They always find a way to get it done. This is going to be a game right here. Wow. It's tough. Wow. But you know what? Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have to start getting commercial breaks. We'll be back right after
Yes.
commercial break.
We need commercial breaks. The suspense.
I was like, somebody wake me up.
Right. Every time I talk a lot, do I get it right or do I get it wrong? I think
I'm going wrong.
I might need to keep talking till I get something right. No, what a game. I'm going to, and you know, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, is this not Ty Dodge's last year? He's going to retire after this year?
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh.
This is the last ride for Coach Dodge
Hey.
in Austin Westlake.
You know what? I'm gonna also Westlake. I'm gonna go Westlake. I'm gonna go against I'm gonna go also Westlake. I just have a feeling as Austin Westlake is gonna do it. I love Gary Joseph. He's the best around. But I think that Westlake is going to be a little bit too much for him. I think back to last year when Westlake beat North Shore in the semifinals again. They found a way to get it done. And I'm going to go with Westlake with this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Westlake too. I think that what Coach McDowell says is right. If you have a quarterback who can get protected and just sit there and kind of throw the ball around, which is what Katy can do, that's pretty much the Achilles heel of that Katy defense. I also think, Katy has not been able to consistently put pressure on the quarterback defensively. They have their moments, they have their stretches, but over the course of a game, the last 2 games against King and Summer Creek, they built up these 20-point leads in the first half. Yeah. Then the other team kind of made some adjustments, came back, and Katy kind of let the other team enter the game, which is something you usually just don't see. You usually see Katy able to put an opponent away and keep their foot on the pedal type thing. Also, this Katy team also has a tendency to to commit turnovers and to beat itself at weird points of games. The stretch last week where they went fumble, pick six on 3 consecutive drives to start the second half was just bizarre. But they've had issues with turnovers, specifically fumbles, losing fumbles this season. They've had problems with that. And I don't think you can give Westlake extra possessions. Katy has to play an absolutely perfect game, has to keep Cade off the field, use the run game, not turn the ball over, keep penalties low. And I don't think I've seen a game this year where they've played lights out like a perfect game. I haven't seen that yet. They're capable of it, obviously, but they're going to have to do it Saturday against the number 2 team in the nation in the state semifinal. I don't see them necessarily doing it. I think Austin Westlake gets this one.
The moment that I knew Cade Klubnik was one of, if not the best quarterback in the state of Texas, was during that North Shore game last year. I think it might have been 17-17 at that time, and he had driven Westlake down, and I think they were on like the 4 or 5 yard line. He takes a quarterback keeper, and he just muscles his way into the end zone, and he just gets into the end zone. He just lets out this like huge scream and fist bump and stuff, and I was like, that's the moment that I knew that's the dude. There's guys that are the dudes, like Demetrius Davis was the dude at North Shore. Cade Klubnik is the dude at Westlake.
Like James Williams.
Exactly, like James Williams. I mean, same thing. Exactly the same thing. There's so many factors here. This Westlake team wants to do one thing. They want to carry Todd Dodge off of AT&T Stadium's field as a state champion in his final game as the head coach of the Austin Westlake Chaps. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to beat Katy. They're going to go next. I don't even care who it is they play next week. They're going to win the state championship. You might as well book my pick for next week. Katy or Austin Westlake will win this game. They will win the next one. They will send Todd Dodge off as a state champion into retirement. And that's my pick.
Gary Joseph loves the fact that you're picking Westlake, Josh.
Yes.
Gary Joseph, he's got a shot.
Rat poison.
I went 5-0 last week. Last week.
I'm just saying, you have a reputation.
I mean,
I guarantee that Gary Joseph will not sleep this week. He's going to have his best game plan ever.
Fair, yeah. People forget. I keep forgetting. Cade can run. Like, that kid can run too. He's not just a one-dimensional. Mm-hmm. Man, that's good. I mean, Katie's got to pull out everything.
Yes.
By the way,
and they can.
We are recording this on a Tuesday. It'll air on a Wednesday. But today, Cade Klubnik was named the Gatorade Texas Player of the Year. Wow. So, just saying. I'm not saying like Katie's going to get blown out. Katie's going to play a good game, but it's going to be Austin Westlake. They're going to win this game. I think they've got too much. Last game of the weekend for Houston area teams, the Tomball Cougars. You know, Tomball finished 4th in their district. They had to win the Week 11 game against Klein to get into the playoffs, get in. Right. And since getting in, they've won 4 straight games, and now they're in the state semifinals. They take on Denton Geyer. Does the magic continue for the Tomball Cougars to AT&T Stadium?
No, I don't think it does. I like Tomball. I like Coach Flanagan. I like them guys, man. I think they're doing a great job. Their quarterback is fun to watch. He can play for me any day of the week and twice on Sunday. I mean, I think they got a great O-line. I love their scheme. I think they're physical. Dan Ryan beat Atascocita when Atascocita was rolling earlier in the year. So I think Dan Geyer, would beat anybody in the Klein district too, that the Tomball is in. So I think this is a par for the course for Denton Geyer. They're on a mission. Now that Ryan's out, so they're the class of their district. Tomball's had a great season. They're, like I said, they're a fun group to watch, but it rode ends here with Denton Geyer. So I'm taking Denton Geyer all the way.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that, Sean. I'm going to go with Denton Geyer as well. Great football team. The only team that got the best of them this year was Allen. Allen beat them early in the year, and they played some great games, including Atascocita. They had a great game against Atascocita. They pulled it out, but I just think they're the top team. Tomball's done an outstanding job. You commend those guys. You take your hat off to what they've done. Like I said, finishing 4th in their district and making it this far. What a great program and what they're doing. But I think Geyer's going to be able to take care of this. I think they're battle-tested, played some great games, had some great wins, and scoring a lot of points. We'll go ahead and go with the Denton Geyer.
Yeah, I'm going Denton Guyer too. I think Tomball, man, they've had a fantastic season. Their quarterback is a stud. They got a lot of good things going for them, but I just think Denton Guyer's too battle tested, too tough, too much to handle, and is not afraid. I mean, you're getting more deeper to where you don't know if the bright lights and the environment is going to affect a team like Tomball, whereas Denton Guyer, they're used to this. They're used to the big games. They're used to the hype and everything. I think that makes a difference at this point, and I think it's been a great run for Tomball, but I think it ends Saturday.
So everybody's going against the Tomball Cougars.
Uh-oh.
Everybody's picked against Tomball.
That's where it makes us move.
He's stalling. He's stalling. He's
Making my moves. You know, Denton Guyer, they got out of that game against Prosper last week. It was a 25-22 game. Prosper gave him a game. Denton Guyer had to play to get out of that game. Tomball, now granted, I get it. I get Connor Wigman wasn't playing against a different Bridgeland team. They took it to Bridgeland in that third quarter. I mean, they hung some points. Cale Helms is a difference maker, game changer. I feel like I'm rapping right now, but, you know, about as close as it's going to get. You know, this is a Tomball team that everyone – I mean, even me. I'll say it right now. I thought they were going to lose to Cy Park in the first round. I thought Cy Park had too much, and they came out and smacked them. And then they smacked the next one. Then they smacked Rockwall Heath. And then they smacked Bridgeland. Next, they're going to smack Denton Ryan. They're going to get to the Dent. They're going to get to AT&T Stadium. This is going to be a fourth-place team. This is going to prove to everybody you can finish fourth in your district, and you can still get to AT&T Stadium if you win all those playoff games. They got hot at the right time. That defense is playing good. Keegan Handel on the defensive side, the middle linebacker, starting middle linebacker, the son of the defensive coordinator. He's going to have this thing tuned up. Offense is going to get going. Kel Helms is going to put on a show Saturday night in Waco, Texas. I'm going Tomball. Red Nation, let's go.
All right.
They're going to bring a crowd, too, by the way. It's going to get loud. They're going to get loud.
I'll be cheering for him, but I'll be cheering for him, but I ain't picking him. I'll cheer for him, but I ain't picking him.
Sean's got a record to protect.
That's right.
I have no record to protect. I'm going full bore. I almost went all Houston teams, but I picked, you know, the one I'm going to get wrong is going to be the Katy game. Somehow they're going to win that game and shock the world on Saturday afternoon. So that'll do it for this week's edition of the Coach's Corner. We'll be back next week, and we will get to pick state championship games and see who the ultimate champion of the world is going to be. This is like a Big 12. It's like there's the regular season champ, then there's the Big 12 champ. We got to see who can get in at the goal line at the end here, or not in the goal line. You know, either one. So for everybody here, we'll see you next week, 6 o'clock on VYPE. We'll see everybody next week. Enjoy the games this weekend, everybody.